Zeroco here, back again with another video, and I am here with my fellow tournament opponent, Dacier. How is it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
Just becoming very, very excited and scared of what this next week is going to come up with beautiful room rules that we got now. We got Ultimate 32 coming, and then we get to see if we ever cross paths right away, and kind of excited and kind of scared.
Hey, I'll throw that gauntlet down.
I'm gonna try to roll over some feet here, see if I get at least. I'm trying for not last place. That's where I'm going for, not last place. That's the goal.
For the Ultimate 32, same here.
Yep. But we got the new room rules. We're gonna go over some of the most of the rooms here to see what we're planning on, what I'm planning on, and getting to serious thoughts on them. I'm might change up my defense a bit, but then again, I might not, only because maybe laziness, or I just like turtling somewhere, and hopefully some of the rooms help out, some of them might not. But right now we got a global one, which is going for piercing damage, A-Force allies gain offense up, which we've already shown. Kahori is a pain everywhere. She does piercing damage, so she's going to give some offense up to the A-Force. Are you thinking about throwing them somewhere or keeping them for offense?
I'm looking at more defense for them just because of how big of an issue they can be if you end up throwing like a Mephisto with them type of thing. So I'm looking at defense.
Yeah, I'm more than likely going to keep the couple of members on defense and just let them do their thing in that first beautiful I don't want to, it's not really a bye week, it's more like a play and see what works week. I think that's what everybody does with it.
Yeah, it's a testing grounds week.
So I'll test it out, see how it works for me, since last season is pretty much gone, and now we get to have like a mini season all in one, which is kind of nice. I like Ultimate 32 with it. But hunting sense here for offense and defense. On successful attack, apply bleed for strikers, and then raiders and skirmishers. If they get a successful attack, they get the ISO attack on there if the target has bleed. So I'm trying to think of characters to throw in there, and right now, for the most part, I'm gonna more than likely keep the same room I had for one last one. It's not gonna snap off with Thanos how it would normally would, but he's still gonna hit like a truck, which is great. But I did bring in old Emma because, well, to slow them down just a little bit more. Because if they could finally get a turn where they're not Weavered or Immortal, they got to use Immortal somewhere else, then hey, this might throw them into a wrench. And if Storm can bring them back, if they can't bring in Black Cat or North Star, cool.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Gore does throw bleeds out there. Thanos Endgame's basic throws bleeds out there. Dorm specials, that's going to flip stuff into bleed. So you definitely be able to play into that. Then you got them as the Raiders, so that way they're going to be doing the basically an ISO attack into all of them. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I figured they're already doing a bunch of attacks anyway, and if they do get some turns out there, I'm hoping one of them just wipes them off the board, whether or not Thanos or Gladiator, because Gladiator is still a pain to go into because his positive effects kind of just don't disappear for a while. Damn safeguard. Yeah. But he's still a powerful character, and if Gore could snap off, he kind of just sneaks up on you and just starts just taking you out.
Yeah, that Gore, he can just delete people for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping he snap. I'm hoping they all get a turn to snap off and then just catch everybody by surprise, and then you're just like, oh, what just happened? What just went down? Oops.
That's pretty much what happens, especially when Thanos gets his passive pushed. It's like, whoops, yep. I made a mistake.
Yeesh. All right. So this from here. So for room 2 Spec Ops, unsuccessful attack, unsuccessful dodge gain stealth, and then characters with stealth gain 20% damage. Now, I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna what teams I'm gonna throw here, or what team I could throw here, and I like Suss in here. I did have this room for room 6 last time, and sure, usually they either throw Cabal or Immortal at it. However, pushing out the defense, they didn't use Cabal or Immortal on this one time, and they got dropped. And most of the team survived, even with that guy there, War Machine, which I just did it because his health is up there. Great, he's nice, but the rest of them they do great. I like Sus in here. Hopefully he goes into stealth and hits harder. Invisible Woman, she worked out great, but in this room she'll have some added benefit to it because she'll get more damage. Falcon, I just want to see somebody get killed by his ult again, especially if they got a total of positive effects on there. He hits like a truck now, which is great. And Hercules, he's there. He's tiny. He still does damage, but we really need more stars on him. So someone could just like push some stars out or something, some shards. That'd be great. But I'm looking at this room going, this would be a nice room to keep him at least sus. At least sus, or I don't want to throw spiders because they usually get wiped pretty quickly. So I'm thinking, hey, if they're going to use Cabal here, great. Then I'm going to go ahead and find another way to throw Cabal. Make them think about using Cabal somewhere else before here.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So definitely playing into the Super Scroll Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman pops everybody into stealth. She does those retaliates as well, especially if she's in stealth. That's going to do extra damage. Super Scroll keeps going stealth, so it definitely can trip people up. I'm not sure if there's a way you can try to fit 2 villains in here to try to spice it up a little bit, but it definitely could throw people off, especially if you throw like a Dorm in here or something of that sort. I'm curious how the War Machine will play a factor, because he did get the rework, so he has the extra bonus damage and health, so that's not a bad thing either.
He stood around for a lot longer than he used to. Instead of just the normal sack character, he actually stood around and he did get his special off, which was great. And it took a chunk of health out of him. And you're just like, well, wasn't expecting that much to go. But yeah, he got a decent rework. Well, restatting, I guess you could say.
Yeah, restatting.
Restatting. Sure. But he definitely did bring them down and got a point or 2 off, which is great. I want efficiency, and if I could lower them by any means, great. And all these characters got beautiful stats now, which it sucks that Sus is kind of on par with them when Sus used to be like up there. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. And War Machine got that 700% extra health bonus, so
yeah, he's up there now. Health. He's up there now. I'm happy with it. I'm happy for him because chat made me build him. Thanks, chat. Love y'all.
It paid off.
Yep. Stage 3, Momentum. Special abilities cost 2 more ability energy, and an ultimate ability costs 2 less. And then when an enemy character dies, ally characters gain 1 ability energy. So, this room has some interesting implications because, well, there's a lot of... Most of the time, you want people to snap off because of their ult, because you're waiting to get to their ult. But then again, you're happy using their special because it'll take a second to get to their ult. So let me use that. But now you can't. Now it's the opposite. And I think I'm just going to throw Illuminati and Black Knight in here. That's my take with it. I want at least we know CB's gonna stun right off the bat. There won't be no problem with it. I want the health. And if these other guys take a turn, great. Let Black Knight mess them up for a little bit. Cool. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, this one could cause a lot of issues. So Hank Pym, he would end up ulting turn 1, putting trauma on everybody. Black Knight doing the retaliates. He's going to ult turn 1, does that massive damage to about 2 or 3 characters, depending where he's targeting on there. Captain Britain's going to be ulting basically every about 3 or 4 turns. Black Panther Shuri doing those rewinds with trauma ability block about every 3 turns. It's going to be an issue.
I'm hoping it does, because it was either this room or the Mephisto room, whichever one we push that as, usually trips somebody up, which is great because you're thinking about it. Okay, cool. Can I knock out Britain with the actual, with Moondragon and Infinity Watch. Can't do it in this room, so have fun with that. It's not going to work. And then I just threw in Black Knight because, hey, you know what? If they can go first, or they can try to go for a couple times, maybe Black Knight will do some damage. Have some fun with that. Especially he's going to do his ult turn 1. Yes, I want to see what happens to somebody when they finally take a turn. They're probably going to get nuked, and if he attacks the right one, yay for me.
Yeah, and even if you end up burning this room and you get the exhaust on Black Knight, come back in, it's like, well, you still have to deal with him basically ulting that often. It's going to be difficult because if you do the burn attack, they're going to basically wipe everybody unless you do the timeout. That's going to give them 5 basically ability energy, depending on where the turn orders were. So you just like refilling them back up for the next follow-up attack.
Ooh, well, that sounds epically fun for somebody going up against it. I wasn't too, I wasn't too happy going, all right, I really did like Black Knight on offense for a little bit because it's like, wow, if they take a turn, Black Knight's going to go ahead and nuke them. But if I can do it on offense and they skip a room, I think that's a little bit more encouraging than me trying to hopefully get all 5 characters left on the board. So I'm going to keep him on defense especially with the Illuminati.
Yeah, and this room is going to stop that Infinity Watch sack as well because Moondragon's not special in turn 1, so, and she's not going to survive to that second turn to where you could end up pulling it off. So,
sorry, Moondragon, you can enjoy the bench for a little bit.
Just for one season.
Yeah, just for once. Yeah, just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. All right, Resolve. On death, all allies gain offense up, and then on death again, apply trauma to all enemies. So I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna potentially stop this or go with it, and I didn't really know what to do. But I had a unique team last season, and the only change I made to them was before I had Invisible Woman in here, but I threw Vision in there to help out. Quicksilver would have been a beautiful addition to this, but I'm sad to say he gets wiped out now with a lot of with the stats that are coming out for damage. So he dies pretty quickly, and twice he died before he dropped Scarlet Witch. So it was like I'm counting on double Scarlet Witch, and we'll have some fun. Dude, you died. You're dead. That doesn't help me. So I took him out, and I threw Cap Sam in there, and I'm like, okay, beam down on that beautiful health boost he just got. Try to do that. And he's blocking? Yeah, go ahead for that. Try it. See what happens.
Yeah, last season, there was 2 times I won against like a Quicksilver with the Scarlet Witch, so I kept getting double ping from the Scarlet Witches, and then I'd hit Vision. I was getting more pings. It was so annoying. I used my Mercs of Money into it, and my Mercs of Money was getting destroyed by it. So it's pretty crazy if you can actually get the double Scarlet Witch out there. This one looks very interesting. So pulling Agatha off of Night Stalkers, does that affect you at all as far as using Night Stalkers elsewhere?
No, it didn't. Actually, for going up against Orchids, I think maybe it was 1 or 2 extra turns, but it wasn't as detrimental as I thought it would be. Blade and Oath carried them pretty well, and for a 5th, I just threw in Kestrel just to go ahead and stop Sentinel for a second. Granted, she died, but we still wiped out Orchids because of the rest of them. So I was perfectly fine leaving her here. And when her and Scarlet Witch start snapping off, it's just a pain to try to go through. And then I'm like, all right, let me bring in Vision. Hey, look, Captain America's looking pretty good, and I really don't want New Warriors to do anything here. I'm gonna bring my buddy over here for a second. Let me bring in Doc Ock. He's semi okay, and he usually leaves Shocker around there because he's usually the first to die, which makes no sense. But whatever. But he drops off. But the last 2 that usually stay on are Scarlet Witch and Agatha, and they just keep healing each other and just snapping off, and you're just like, dude, you 2 need to die. And that's the whole point. I want an efficiency sink. For sure. Yeah, I want an efficiency sink here. So I'm going to leave them here. Hopefully they can If they die, if more than likely Doc Ock will die, Vision will probably die eventually, but then they're going to get trauma. They're going to get offense up. So I feel really bad if somebody gets an Agatha ult with an offense up.
Yeah, it hurts. Like she'll wipe out the entire team.
Yeah, I feel really bad for anybody that goes through that. So try it, people. It was working for me on defense, but you could try and see what happens there.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, room 5, mutants. Gain revive once and immunity. Now, I personally love mutants. I personally love Old Man Logan, but I did find that he sometimes is a pain in the ass again on defense. And I know people don't want to use a fake bullseye over there, but Safeguard will help the others for a little bit, just so that way they keep the immunity on them and you don't get like a disrupt from somebody. So this is what I'm planning for. I know Black Cat and North Star could go in there, but if Old Man Logan snaps off, this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, if they try to bring secret defenders in here, so Phantom X has a lot of dodge. He gets the taunt out there, revive once on himself. That definitely could pull a few turns, especially kind of getting him pushed down, making it to where Rogue gets the taunt with the safeguard immunity. It can definitely cause issues, especially Old Man Logan popping off, Nightcrawler there. It could be causing some issues for sure. I can see that.
I have seen a few times where they're just like, you know what? I'm going to throw Cabal into here too. You go right ahead. You do that. You do that, and you might need him somewhere else too. So go right ahead.
Yeah.
I'm happy if you do that. But I don't know personally if I want to throw purple ISO on that white guy for a second. I think I might just leave him at blue because ions are scarce. Yeah, ions are scarce right now, and I don't want to waste anymore. So I think I'm going to leave him there. But as long as I think Nightcrawler and Old Man Logan will pose an interesting challenge because of the speed, and then he's basically speeding up everybody. So he's giving them all speed, which is why I'm hoping they bring Cabal in here, and then they got to deal with something else somewhere for it. They can't use Cabal or Immortal somewhere.
Exactly. If they put Cabal in here, then they can't do Cabal into your Super Scroll team. So it's definitely going to be like a Sophie's choice. Where did they want to direct that target to and try to deal with the consequences of the other one? So I like it.
Mm-hmm. And then that beautiful final room, charging power, where on spawn, generate 5 ultimate ability energy, and then once you use an ult, apply ability block to all allies. I love how you get so excited for like a beautiful top room roll, and then they just come and uppercut you right in the jaw. Where they're just like, if you're gonna use it, you're gonna ability block yourself. So, defensive wise, I want a team with. I was trying to figure out a team with immunity, but I didn't know. I just don't. I don't see one way I could do it where it would be effective. So I'm just gonna throw in Mephisto and these beautiful guys in there. This room by itself had a ton of beautiful wins, which is great. I think out of the last 6 matches, 4 times they could not beat it at all, so that worked out great. But they don't have the added bonus of getting ability energy when somebody dies. But they're getting ultimate ability energy right out the gate. So if you're double sacking, guess what? Kahori's still gonna be able to get that ult off. So if she comes in there, boom, boom, and sure it'll ability block some others, but whatever, it's fine. They're still gonna do some crazy damage. That'd be great. I'd hoping to see this works out okay-ish.
Yeah, so even if they go in with the sacks, Mephisto's still gonna pretty much ult on turn 1. The Ms. Marvel Classic her ultimate's on a long cooldown, so getting to where you can actually get that again for you is going to be huge. The Emma Frost X-Men is very interesting in here, so I'm hoping they fix her passive to where it stops the speed on while it's on defense, but she still has a really good kit to where that ultimate can do some damage. I believe that's the mind control one, and then that would end up causing a ping from Shadow King. I believe the ultimate also clears her negative effects.
Yeah, she cleanses herself. Check that,
but
I believe she cleanses herself.
Yeah, so adding Emma Frost X-Men is definitely interesting. I like that in here.
Yeah, I want to see how this works out without the added energy from Thanos and that, but I mean, or previous room rule, but having the ultimate ability energy right out the gate, which if you don't burn Mephisto's ult, he's still going to be able to do it. And I'm scared of what everybody else is going to do when they go turn 1. So I could see a lot of Mephisto comps being put into room 6, and I'm going to pray Miss Marvel Classic does something there, but just sit there and look like Blonde all day. I need her to do something. Besides healing. Healing's great, but she needs to do something.
Yeah, I really like her as a healer. Shadow King, though, he's a fantastic curveball with this team. I was using him last season until I pulled him for offense, and that Shadow King does so much work with those pings. The ultimate basically is gonna happen turn 1 for him. Big AoE damage, clear those negative effects off, so anybody that went before him that has the ability block cleansed right away. So I like it.
The only other reason I brought him, I wanted Shadow King in here, is because they're all going to be using ults, and they're going to speed up Shadow King. So if they bring an Immortal in here for the third one, or Cabal, you pretty much stopped yourself from trying to do another room. Great. Got you to focus somewhere else. Good. You do that. Shadow King is going to just start slapping like crazy, because sure, he's going to be ability block for like once or twice, but somebody else is going to be like boom, 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 boom. Oh, wow. They're all going to have... He's going to have a lot of turn meter, and I want him to have as much turn meter as possible. Especially if he comes out the gate just going, oh, I was not expecting Shadow King to go dead.
Pretty much. And if they go in with the Cabal, they could easily misplay that. It's like, oh, I have my ultimates. I'll use the ultimate from Iron Patriot. It's like, no, you still want the special. So people will still misplay that.
I'm guilty of that every now and then. I need to focus. I need to plan ahead a little bit more, and I'm trying to make sure I do. Just because it's there doesn't mean use it. You might have to use something else to get by. So
exactly,
I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson by getting slapped in the face. But hey, it is what it is. But this season should be interesting to go with. Any thoughts on this season for you?
Overall, I think that it's going to be one of those seasons where we do shuffle a lot of the rooms around, but I think there's enough interesting pieces for the room rolls to where we can make certain pivots. Like the mutant revive room. You can easily throw an Astral team in there. That would actually do pretty good. Getting the revive once up on like Emma Frost X-Men and Shadow King. Maybe throw like the Old Man Logan that you have. That would be a very interesting 5th piece on that team, because he's a mutant as well, helping out the other members of the Astral. So I think there could be some interesting theory crafting. The first week, I usually try to go more offense heavy, which is why my Astral's still on offense there. And then from there, I can start making my pivots, moving pieces around to where I didn't use this on offense. I can start throwing these on defense and stuff. So I think that's how this is going to be as well. There's going to be about 2, maybe 3 interesting rooms. Then the rest is going to be more for trying to stretch out your opponent's efficiency. Like how you have 2 rooms that's like, hey, use your Cabal here. That's a very good trap to be able to do to your opponents.
Yeah, I want to trap some people. Sorry. I'm trying to win, people. I didn't come here to play around. I came here to win. So we're gonna trap some up, and then hopefully this first beautiful week of trying everything, we can kind of solidify where we're gonna go. But I think it'll be more a lot of testing, and I hope the testing lasts pretty long, how it did with this season, where it wasn't getting too stale. People started moving characters around, moving defense, and we got a lot more characters that actually have stats that do actually do some work in these rooms.
Yeah, and during the season, the Liberty team's going to come out. I could see them kind of slotting in somewhere as well. So,
Ooh, War Machine with buffs. Yay! I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna enjoy that immensely. But I am excited for the Liberty team, though. I'm excited for 'em.
yeah, they look awesome.
All right. Well, I wanna thank Dacier for jumping on for today. I will have a link to a previous video we just did on his channel, so check out his as well. But remember, like, share, subscribe. Tell us whatever we were doing wrong. More than likely, I'm going to do something wrong, so we can laugh about that later. Other than that, I want to thank Dacier for jumping on, man. Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime.
All right, we're at ZKG and Dacier rolling out.